Hi Sonia, welcome back to my art channel. I thought I would do, because I'm just about to have a go at finishing or altering this old piece of work. It's going to be on the subject of, I guess, reusing our old work, making it into something new or altering it, because it's sometimes worth keeping hold. Let me just grab some folder of bits of paper. This may not, no, this is the right one. Let me just move this because I've already started painting it, and there's paint there. So I keep these bits of paper, and it's fun because it's almost like maybe to start the day, if I'm feeling, what's the word? Procrastinating, I don't know where to start, then having a subject already there, but it's not precious. These are all bits that, you know, I could cut out and make into like a 7x5 sort of postcard size. And then I put them on my wall as well, if I like how they've turned out. It's a reminder to myself that you, just because you don't like a piece of work initially, give it a few days. You may like it and actually not want to alter it, but you can always play about with them. They're like little, already self-started, you know, someone might like a colouring book because you've got a starting point, you can just relax. Sometimes I feel more relaxed into these sort of already bits of work that are ongoing. And as you can see, they're completely all over the place in subject. Now, so this one could be more to add to. Occasionally, quite a lot actually, I'll go too far and then they go, but it's a little bit of fun. I think I have shown some of these things before, but see, for this one, I've gone over it. This is on terrible paper, and I went on it with, I had some oil pastels I was testing out, and then I covered it in, because it's all fixed, so it must be matte medium, and I've gone on top, and then the last layer, and this is where it's at, and I don't know how I'm going to take this, but I did this black in. And I guess in my head, I was like, oh, that could be a cup. So then I can transform it more. I could make this into a still life table scene. I could just go abstract. So yeah, this kind of, and these are fun to keep and look through in the morning. I was just feeling, you know, it's just feeling a little bit, what's the word? When you've done your cleaning and your chores, or you've got a bit of time, it's nice to look for inspiration at older work. Obviously, you could go and look at someone else's work, or you could even try and look through your work. And then I'm like, oh, this is kind of giving me maybe, could I go Matisse, go and look at Matisse's book? And then could I, you know, go a bit more patterny, put some, like, be inspired, but add on to your old work. When it all goes wrong, under here, which is why I didn't want to show it, because some people, I know you occasionally get, oh, why did you do that? It was nice before you had covered it up. Under here, though, I had got, you can just see the remnants, and I like that as well. So the other fun thing with layering older work, or newer work on top of older work, is that you get it coming through. This is, I think, a basics acrylic, and I just, yesterday, scraped it on, and I like that now, so that will be fun to play on. And as I've talked about with mixed media, I think I did some videos on mixed media work. It is worth, you get to learn how you like to do mixed media work. There's a ton of videos on this subject, books, artists' work. I think the joy of mixed media is you really get to hone in on how you like to work. For myself, because as I've talked about before, if I'm going to use this sort of, for me, I mean, it's not as terribly expensive, it's sort of Canson XL, was it XL? Yeah, watercolour paper. I do have some other ones as well, but like, if I'm going to use this, I kind of, most of the time I might go with watercolour first. Here I don't think I have, or gouache, and then if it all goes wrong, it's harder to go on, obviously, well, you could, I've not really done watercolour on watercolour, but then I'll go on with like acrylics, and then you learn that you can do what you can do on top of that. So I've come to, this is the process today, because it's going to be, I thought I'd just share, I was almost going to just do it by myself and listen to a podcast, but I thought, let me just, this is such a, we'll see how it turns out. this is a fun exercise. So I know I kind of like, there's elements I like in this. I don't want to, as it were, trash or completely paint over at the moment. If this all goes wrong and I go too far, I can. But what I wanted to do is just take it further. I'd sort of stopped for whatever reason, wasn't feeling it. Got put into my folder of my big box of work, which I've shown before, but it's quite exciting. I find having these little boxes of work exciting. I will also, like a lot of people, declutter. So yeah, days if I'm not feeling like doing any drawing or painting for whatever reason, or I don't want to get stuff out, it's quite fun. It's like when you look through your memento boxes or old photos, it's good to, I go through and I get rid of work. I really am trying to get a bit stricter with that, because it also helps give me, I feel like I've, you know, clearing your head or clearing your space. So this is just going down. Now let's go with, see this dark colour. I'm just using, I'm not going to mix them. Of course you can, maybe I will towards the end, but if I haven't got long, then it's nice just to get going. And we will see, there's this pink is a bit too. So with this, I've got the idea of adding much more details. You're going for like a bright kitsch, just, I'm just having fun with these bits of paper. They don't feel, what's the word? They don't, kind of just a low pressure way of getting going. This is so a fun exercise to keep these bits of work for maybe if you're having one of those periods where you're not feeling it, your creativity is sort of, you know, I personally get ebbs and flows. Sometimes I'm super like in the flow, like to the point where I haven't made videos or I've even thought about, you just sort of go from piece to piece and it's fun. And other times I'm like, I don't really know where to start, or I don't want to start something new. I want something that is ready for me to alter. And putting them away, because if you're more of a colorist and you respond, you know, you get sort of feelings from colors. It's a nice exercise because you can bring out, can give you ideas for later on if you go on to a new piece for like colors that you want to get out. So you could like challenge yourself to finish a piece off. Like my challenge today would be to finish this, and that'll be I'll already have finished something which will feel good. And then maybe if I wanted a challenge, I've got some paints, I'll have these paints out. If I've got some left, I could then challenge myself to go and start a different piece with just these colours that I have out on this. At the moment I am using just odd ends of paper as palettes, because then I end up with these little samples. Hold on, let me just show you. Let me just roll away from the desk. Oh, these odds and ends of papers, again, I recycle because this is acrylic wash and then it became its own little scrappy abstract. So this is a great for anybody who's really wants to do abstract, feel called to it, but actually has found it's not as easy as it looks and they're struggling. That's just a fun way of making your own little, getting going with it. So I'm just gonna, so I'm quite, already I feel that is an improvement from how it was. for me. I can hear the bin trucks. Not sure it's going to come up on my video, but it's quite nice and quiet here today, and it's cool, so a bit grey. Right, okay, now what am I thinking? Because I'm messy, I am going to add in, I feel like I want to add in like, you know, like a surface for it to be on, like a table. But I'm going to add that in last because I really want to keep, I want to do, because I'm left-handed, I want to work down. Now, I still want to go a little bit more, have fun with those flowers. Also, when you have these acrylic gouache, I am making a concerted effort, a very old one, just checking, you know, if they're feeling a bit more gunky, do I need to think about trying to use them up? And then that's it. It could be a limitation. If anybody is into limitations, and, you know, you could do a little fun list of limitations, go for your art supply, get out if you've got some art supplies that are really getting a bit on the older side. Just use those colours, limit yourself to those colours. I think I pretty much have checked these out and they're all okay, because I did have to use some up. And I actually used the really gonky one up. I think I did a background because it was so... getting so, what's the word? Thickened, and I was like, I just need to get on with this. This is also nice, this sort of exercise, if you want to get a little bit, I feel for myself, I'm feeling like I want to do, I'm less rushy at the moment, I'm slowing down. I kind of like these sort of little details, adding them in. And for me, this feels relatively challenging because this is not from a reference. This is kind of like a made up. I sort of enjoy making my own florals up now. I've sort of, I guess because if you do practice drawing from life and from your botanical books or pictures, then you sort of do get to get a language for what sort of flowers that you get drawn to leaves, and then you get to make your own little bouquet or vase for yourself. So it's very relaxing. And interestingly, I feel like I've got that quite watery for me. Often I use these a bit thick, too thick. Just feel like I want the edge. I want the sort of graphic quality, but not too perfect. I kind of like... So I'm trying to keep the sort of painterly aspect, but at the same time you've got like some really contrast, and obviously it's not at all true to life because these are very blue flowers with yeah. So just having, you get to, I love the fact you get to break some, well, pretty unimportant really if you're changing the colour of something in a painting, but you know, in general you get to be a bit rebellious and do what you want. Okay, you know what, I kind of like that. And now let's do something with this vase, and I'm just trying to look. So what you can also do is, oh, what have I got here? No, look at bits of collage. So you could even collage. I have also kept really nice, well, not nice, no, abstracts I don't like, and then you can cut out vase shapes and glue on top if you've made a vase that wasn't really how you wanted it to go. You can, hold on a minute, and I'll show you, if you've got, it's quite heavy, that's me just groaning as I lift up. If you've got reference books or from the library, have a little look for like some ideas. So I kind of like these. This would be good if you did wax resist. Old sketchbooks, like I once cut out old, that's quite fun as well, if it's not a piece that you're precious about. So I quite like, could I within these squares do sort of a pattern? Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I just jogged them. This is the problem. I'm going to put it here. And what colour I want? I kind of like keep, because I'm going to go to a bright colour, so I don't want to, let's go for this sort of beigey, what do they call it? Oh, ash rose. I want a pointy, my little, a thinnish brush for this. The idea is just to add a little pattern in, and we'll see. As I say, a lot of the time I experiment, which is fun, and then I don't like it. And what I do is wait for it to dry, and then you just paint over the top, because obviously you can go over the top again with acrylic. You could go over the top with a crayon even, I believe. So you just cover up if it doesn't work out. And you can go with what you feel like on the day. So as you can see, I feel like I'm in a more of a, which is nice, a sort of a calmer, I want that sort of repetition, and I feel like that. Other days I'm too whizzy, I do not want, I feel this would not be, I would not be feeling this. I'd be feeling like I want to just splash and go. It'll be completely spontaneous. Or I might feel like actually I want to practice and draw from, you know, from a master copy or from photos of my kids. Yeah, interestingly, I was interested to see, because I was wondering, oh, will I want to draw sort of, because obviously you can, there's lots of references for just different faces, shapes. But when I was looking back through this sketchbook that I cut up, I haven't even got, this is the remnants of it. I barely kept anything, and all the pages that I really was not fussed about keeping, it was, why am I storing this? It kind of was like those, you know, Pinterest references of people, model, like I just didn't feel, weirdly I was like, oh, I was so timid. I made such small sketches back then. They were tiny faces as well, and I was like, I think if I know the person, or at least, yeah, obviously for me, no one else is probably going to care, but like my sketches and my kids, and that has been worth, I think that's when I look back and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a reminder to myself when I'm out and about to take pictures. Also, when of scenes, so even if it's on from a beach and I've sort of captured a random person by accident, that seems more meaningful because I was there. Like I'm not using someone else's photo of a person. Now, the difference comes, I think, with masters, in that I do enjoy drawing from, sorry, I've gone off topic here. This is meant to be this process, but drawing from master portraits. And why is that? I guess that's because I'm also looking at line and the artist's use of cross-hatching, shadows, composition. So it's more, you know, whereas when I'm just drawing from a photo of someone, I just go to my own. It's good practice, very good practice, and I don't regret that time, but I didn't need to keep so many sketchbooks. And I actually, what I want to do is show you, I want to finish this video. I don't want these to be too long, because I know people don't have time. Can I just say, I did oil this, what's the word, chair that goes around. I don't now, actually. What I would normally do is stick some masking tape down, because I would like to get this to a stage just to show you and work with you, because you're hopefully painting alongside me, like what would complete something, and, you know, like a transformation, as it were, the fun, the satisfying feeling of that. I'm just going to draw in a line. And you can play about the other way that I can switch up drawings is, where does one want the sort of table line, or the you know, or you could just keep it like floating in a bright colour sort of graphic design. There's nothing, I have done that as well. I kind of fancy it here. Probably better to start off lower, because then you can always increase the height of your background. And it makes, I guess this is more like design and just a feel like for a picture. And what colour? I want something bright, and I don't need to worry. I feel like because I'm recording a video, I'm more worried about it. Generally, I would just occasionally just grab a paint, and it's like, well, let's give it a go. It's interesting to me. And then if I don't like it, I will cover it up. Do I want that green? You know what you can do also is just do a little bit of a test. How do I feel about that? I'm just going to do it because I've spread I need to finish this, and then we can see, and I will let you know if I change my colour choice. I'm trying with these sort of fun bits of paper too, because I tend to have a go-to. I feel like I'm drawn to certain colours in, and I can tell which ones because they get used up first, like sort of minty greens and corals and, oh, reds. I always, you know, when I'm a bit stuck, I'll add red. I seem to gravitate to that. So I am occasionally, another, for me, fun challenge to myself is to grab a tube of paint that I'm not, I can tell I'm not using it because it's completely full. And then I will make myself use that colour, because what's the worst, or test it out at least, because what's the worst that happens? I'm just going to cover it up. And also this sort of made up, naive, illustrative, graphic, whatever you want to call it, work. I like to do, so you could try for smooth, challenge yourself if you're trying to get very smooth in your technique, look up some, I'm not sure I'm the best one to give advice on that, but I kind of like the whole scrubby brush areas. And then once it's dry, and because it's acrylic gouache, it won't take too long, you could also then go really sort of kitsch, or take a leaf out of Matisse's book and add more pattern, like a pattern to a background, like wallpaper, pattern to the, often I add pattern to the table. What I guess in my head is the tablecloth. But as I say, I kind of like having these sort of, I hope this is in shot because I moved it, right? Scrappy, scrubby. I actually want to keep it sort of variegated, like not uniformly green because it's over this. I like it just being a bit scrappy, as I say. I might come back and then, this isn't the neatest straight line, is it? So that's why I like masking tape. Is often a quick way. If you haven't got long, stick on a bit of masking tape. If you want really good stripes, I would do some masking tape for stripes. Okay, let's have a look. Then I forgot to turn off autofocus, but I don't think I'll be. So I'm going to stop this here because I've been, you know, I think that's long enough. But what I probably might do is come over, do a little bit more to this vase. Would be quite fun in detail. So it'd be quite, if I fancy using a tiny brush, and maybe even more to the flowers, and then pattern to the table. So here, this is a way of, yeah, as I say, like if you ever feel that you're overworking, if you're spending too long on a painting and overworking, you're not happy with the results, maybe stop them, put them away and then come back. Because that way I often feel like I get to a better result than if I just plow on with something and I'm not feeling it. But yeah. Anyway, I hope this was might be a nice video to make some work alongside too. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.